So here we have a range of LoRaWAN sensors, and I'm going to have a look at some of these and explain what they're good at. So here we have a temperature monitor. This is a hardy device which goes inside a fridge or a freezer, and every hour or so it sends out the temperature of that refrigeration device out to the LoRaWAN network and then onto the dashboard. This is really useful for any sort of catering business where an hourly report of the temperatures is really beneficial to see what's going on inside that unit, and also saves employees having to take individual readings every few hours. What else have we got here? Footfall sensor. So this is a footfall sensor. It comes as a pair, and these are mounted either side of a doorway or corridor. And when someone goes through between the sensors, it counts the person going through and also the person coming out. And the result of this is that we get a count of people going in and out of the building over time. And this is then graphed on the dashboard so that we can see footfall activity during the day and specific times of the day, and also get an overall picture of what's happening on a daily and weekly basis. Another sensor here is actually a display. So we have a display of environmental data. So in this case it's CO2, temperature and humidity, and also a level of air pollution. This is normally installed in an environment such as a cafe or an office, and it monitors the environment in which people are working. This device has a light here in the corner, so when it's flashing green, everything's good. And when it's flashing red, it means that things have gone fairly bad. And this could be either pollution in the atmosphere, which can be emitted from things like paint, or high levels of CO2, which means that people are breathing in not a very good mix of air. When the light goes off, it can also beep, which means that they can open the windows or doors to actually create better ventilation within the building. So this is a LoRaWAN enabled smoke alarm. So it acts just like a normal smoke alarm. It goes off when there's a fire or smoke, but also it's connected to the LoRaWAN network. So when the fire alarm goes off, it sends an immediate alert out to normally the property owner to say a fire has occurred, and then they can also raise the alert if there's no one in the building, perhaps at night. In addition to that, it also monitors air quality, so it also measures temperature, humidity, and there's another good advantage to using something like this to monitor the environment in the building as well. And for outdoor use, we have a temperature and humidity sensor which has a cover over it to protect it from the elements, and this is then used outside, normally say within a town. Particularly useful in the winter where temperatures go below zero and we have a risk of ice, and it means that we can use that information to do gritting of the pavements, for instance, or indeed send out a text or an alert to the residents of the town to just warn them that temperature is potentially going to cause them to slip on some ice. We have a display which is also LoRaWAN enabled. So this display allows us to show core information for a particular business and to show them, in this case, footfall data and the current temperature and humidity. And finally, we have another environmental sensor, and this one is slightly different in that it doesn't have a display. This monitors temperature, humidity, and light levels. So this is really useful for putting in archive type buildings where there may be some artifacts of importance. Not only is the humidity very critical in terms of their preservation, but also if we have a high levels of light coming into the building, which is detected by this detector here, it can deteriorate certain items. So knowing that we have high levels of light may well guide us to put up blinds or actually move some very sensitive archives and artifacts to a different location. There are lots and lots of other sensors. This is just a tiny selection of that's available, but hopefully it should give you a feel for what is possible and what can be monitored.